So as we bring today the conversation on the future of digital and open source software to the stage, it's a great honor for me to bring a politician to the stage as our opening keynote. And I'm going to introduce to you Onwurah, who is the Labour MP for Newcastle upon Tyne, and she's the Shadow Minister for Science, Innovation, and I think it should say business at the end, should it not? Research, sorry about that. She is a great friend of OpenUK, and she's been a stalwart in supporting us across events. And as the Shadow Minister in this area, she's one of the most knowledgeable people about UK policy in this space. And she's going to talk to you today about open innovation for the nation. Onwurah.
Thank you so much, Amanda, and thank you so much, OpenCon. It's so fantastic to be here. This is to be back here, actually. And I have to say that I wouldn't be here without Amanda, who is an absolute champion of open source and open innovation. And I really want to say thank you to her for the work she's doing, and also to you, because it is great to see such a crowded room of open source, open innovation, open advocates. Now, yes, I am a politician, I am a chartered engineer. Indeed, I like to call myself a tech evangelist, and I have 20 years experience in tech, or as my constituents say, with a proper job before coming into Parliament. So it is a real pleasure to be in a room full of tech advocates, and if you like, preach to the choir about the opportunities that tech offers for collaboration, innovation, and the promotion of the public good. Because you may find this difficult to believe, but in Parliament, not everyone always knows what they are talking about. Those few are so far gone as to bet hundreds of pounds on the misery of others. But I'll leave Rishi Sunak for the moment. My big confession, I suppose, to this audience is that I started my career off as a hardware engineer. But I did spend 10 years developing software, C, C++, Pascal, and various proprietary languages. So I do think that makes me the closest thing to a dev in the house at the moment. Any other offers, please come forward. I should say it also means I have an abiding dislike of proprietary software languages. And if anyone can, or equally if anyone can identify one that I should be interested in, I'd also be interested to see how that has changed in the time that I've been out of the sector. Because software is such a huge part of all of our lives. But to many, it is obscure and inaccessible. There's no part of our economy that is not run through or in tandem with software. However, often my constituents feel software technology is something that is done to them rather than with them and for their benefit. And I want people to feel empowered to take control of the software that rules their workplaces and personal lives. And for me, and the reason why I am such a strong supporter of open source, apart from my experiences with proprietary languages, etc., but the reason I'm such a strong supporter is for me, it offers the opportunity to democratize technology. And that's why I call this talk Open Innovation for the Nation. Open source software can be publicly accessible, so anyone can see, modify, and distribute the code as they see fit. And this can have enormous benefits for public confidence. And that's why I'm really glad to be part of a Labour front bench that fully grasps the potential of areas such as open source. And also the need for well-targeted activist regulation to be both pro-growth and pro-innovation. So with Labour, the security of the British people will always come first. We've been clear that a Labour government would urgently introduce binding regulation of the small group of companies developing the most powerful AI models, for example. Our plans for regulation will build public trust and deliver security and opportunity for working people. Because just as with food or with an electrical product, people need to have a basic level of trust that technology products are safe. We need to have that view with regard to digital technologies. And that's with standards that can be trusted and head off problems before they arise. That's why I'm such a big advocate of standardization. Standards can help people get the trust that we need to see across our nation in innovative new technologies, products and services. So we're also proposing a regulatory innovation office, which would drive the pro-innovation regulatory agenda based on the priorities in our industrial strategy. And that's about, regulation can be a barrier to innovation, so that office would look to take away, to remove the regulatory barriers to innovation, because innovative products and services may, as in the case with some clean tech companies I've been talking to, they may find themselves subject to 11 different regulators. But regulation can also support and promote and drive innovation by making a level playing field for small and growing businesses. So if your business or your product or your service that you're looking at is affected by regulation, please get in touch, and I'll be really interested to know how we can seek to support you. Because Labour's first mission in government is to achieve the highest sustained growth in the G7. And that is a huge ambition, because in the UK we haven't seen decent levels of growth since the last Labour government, actually. But anyway, but we were not, and we know we can't get there. We know we can't achieve this without maximising the high growth potential of the British tech sector. And that obviously, for me, has to include open source. And as OpenUK have recognised, remote working is a norm in open source, creating job opportunities to people in all regions of the country based on their skills. And that's what I want. I want my constituents in the northeast to have access to great jobs without having to get the train down to London to achieve that. So the way in which open source works supports our mission of high growth, and also of the benefits of innovation being felt across the whole United Kingdom. And so leveraging the strength of open source in the UK will help support good, highly skilled jobs and economic growth across the UK. And to achieve this, you also need a government that works in active partnership with industry. And that's one of the reasons why we are proposing that for research and development. Some of you may be familiar with Innovate UK, which supports small growing companies. So we are proposing 10-year research and development budgets for key institutions like UKRI, for example, which will help develop those long-term partnerships between government, academia, and business to form cutting-edge fields. And our industrial strategy specifically sets out a mission to harness data for the public good. So using new capabilities, new data sets, and new capabilities in data and artificial intelligence to deliver better public services and improve people's quality of lives. And again, that's a huge ambition which successive governments have failed to deliver. But public services are what my constituents rely on, and technology and open source can transform them, and we need to make that happen. And then finally, skills. Because as the open source skills report shows, with regard to tech, we also need to develop better skills base to deliver on our ambition. And after 13 years of drift, Labour will create Skills England to bring leadership and ambition to England's skills system. We'll have a growth and skills levy to drive opportunity in every workplace, and technical excellent colleges right across our country. Because not everybody knows what they want to be when they're 9 years old, like I did. I knew I wanted to be an engineer when I was 9, and we need to have lifelong access to the skills training which will drive our future economy. So that's why we are looking at technical excellence colleges. And we're also looking closely at how we can address the skills across tech and other STEM fields. So I really welcome, again, please get in touch. I'm very easy to find on the internet, and we're particularly thinking about how we attract people of all backgrounds to get into tech. As an engineer, I would often speak at conferences on, for example, fiber design, GSM. I was in telecoms, and I would look out across a sea of male faces. In some ways it was advantageous because I would always be the only woman of color speaking at the conference, so everybody would always know who I was, but it was quite isolating as well. I'm really pleased to look out and see a diverse representation of our country, not quite as diverse as our country is, certainly not as diverse as the world is, but that is really what I'm pleased to see that progress has been made, and we want to drive forward that progress because I want kids and middle-aged people, and indeed older people of every background, to be able to access the fantastic jobs, but also just the fantastic achievements that being in control, having access to open source, being able to control the software, technology, digital environment in which you find yourself. Now, I'm afraid I have to leave because I have a previous commitment, which Amanda persuaded me to move slightly to visit UCL's nanotechnology and AI labs, which I'm going off to do now in about 20 minutes. So I'm not going to be able to stay to hear the rest of the discussion. But I really do hope you've got a sense that we believe that what you're doing, open source, open innovation, standardization of interfaces, accessibility for digital and technology, that is really the future of the sector, and we want to support you in achieving your goals as that will support us in achieving ours. Thank you very much.